Hello and welcome to Fit Essentials. My name is Shauna. I'll be taking you through class. Let's go ahead and come to our feet. All right, we're going to go ahead and come to our feet. Stack the feet just underneath the hips. Pull your shoulders back. We're going to bring the hands right in front of the chest. And we're going to go 3 cycles of this breathing. So pull your chin in, lift tall, and just breathe in nice and deep as you raise your arms up to overhead, pulling up out of your shoulders. And then on the exhale, just really try to relax your body as you open your shoulders. Bring your arms down to the sides. I'm going to go twice more. Breathe in. Fill the lungs with air. Really try to get some good oxygen flow into your body and open. We tend to not breathe as deep as we need to in life. So one more time, breathe deep, reach up, and exhale. Bring those arms down, opening through that chest, and then let everything be nice and heavy. Get a little bounce into your legs here. And now we're just going to start to rotate through the hips. Allow those arms to swing at the sides. And when you're ready, you can let them start to kind of gently tap against the body. And see if you can time the arms tapping against your body with an exhale. So exhale as they tap. Just nice and smooth here. Don't worry about going too fast just yet. We'll pick it up as we go. Just kind of find your flow here. Arms heavy. There you go. Good job. Couple more times each side. One more. Fantastic. Go ahead and walk those feet in. Roll your shoulders back. And now we're going to cross the arms over each shoulder. Call this I Dream a Genie arms. Get a little bend into those knees. And now pulling the belly button in, we're going to bow forward. Waking up the back side of the body, looking down towards the floor. Standing tall, looking straight ahead. A couple more here. Bowing forward. Pull that chin in as you look down. And then push it through your feet, looking straight ahead at the top. Let's go one more. Over. And up. Fantastic. From there, we're just going to go into a nice side step and opening through those arms again. Swinging through. Alternate here. Which arm crosses over on top? And then as you rotate your hands, arms swing back, rotate your palms forward. Good. Keep those shoulders down out of the ears and connecting with that breath. Nice strong exhale. Very good. We're going to go back to single leg deadlifts, or oh my goodness, single leg hamstring stretch. So similar to what we just did, but now one leg. Take your left foot, extend that leg straight out, heel down, and now either keep the arms over the shoulders or bring the arms behind the head to open the chest a bit more. Grounding down into your right foot. Bow forward. Feel a little stretch in the backside of that left hamstring and stand tall. Again, leaning forward, long spine here, sending those hips back. Drive that foot down the right and over and up. A couple more times. Bowing forward, standing tall. One more time. Say hello to that hamstring and straight up. Fantastic. We're going to go inner thigh stretch in between legs. So for that, you're going to go nice wide base stance. Again, root down into those heels. Reach your arms out as a counterbalance. And now just nice and gentle, we're going to lunge towards one side, pushing the heels down, driving the knee out. So both feet are firmly planted onto the floor. And then we're going to switch sides, coming to the opposite side. Again, nice vertical shin on the side that you're lunging towards. And let's go between 2 and 3 times each direction. See if you can sink just a little bit deeper each time. Back to center and reach nice and long. Keep that knee tracking. Fantastic. Here's our third time. Sinking down, chest tall, heel planted. Very good. And last time to the opposite side. Beautiful. Walk those feet in. We've got our single leg hamstring stretch on the right. So root down into your left foot. Heel down, toe up on the right. Hands behind the head or over the shoulders. And then there we go. Slight bend in that left knee. Bowing forward. Standing tall. 3 to 5 here. Over and up. Pretty deep. Couple more. And we're going to go into a quad stretch next. I'm going to show it standing, but if it's easier for you down on the floor, if you want to head down to the floor after this, you're welcome to it. Otherwise, either balance on something or practice your balance. Lifting up out of one hip, we're gonna grab onto one foot, pulling the heel towards the glute, keeping the thigh nice and square, so I don't wanna rotate it out either way. And then shoulders back, especially if you're standing here. Very good. Nice, Sharon. Lifting through the chest, lifting up out of the hip. Got another 10 seconds here. If you're standing here, you kind of feel that wiggle on the ankle, readjusting that balance. 2, 1, and relax. Fantastic. We'll switch sides here. Again, place that foot down, lifting up, shoulders back. It's going to help that balance. And grab that opposite foot. Fantastic. And with all of our stretches here, we want them to be gentle stretches. You want to encourage your body into new lengths, looking to increase that range of motion. But you don't want to be stretching so intensely that you're grimacing or feel like you're starting to sweat bullets because you're stretching pretty intense. So keep it light and release that. Fantastic. All right, we're going to make our way down towards the floor with some Sumo Inchworms, we call them. So feet nice and wide, outside the hips. Reach your hands down for the ground, and you're going to walk out, coming to the top of a push-up position for a plank. And then you're going to walk your hands in, making your way back up. We're going to do this 3 times with a little bit of a different stretch each time. For the first one, root down into your feet. Gently send your hips forward and engage the glutes as you look up towards the ceiling. Lengthening out of your low back, not forcing anything. And then we'll head down again. Another inchworm. Nice wide handprint as you're walking out. And then pushing through the heel of the hand as you're walking back in. Root down into your legs to stand. And this time we're going to rotate our torso. Looking over one shoulder, back to center, and then gently twisting around, looking over that opposite shoulder. Let's go one more time each side. Reaching up, peering over, back to center, and opposite way. Fantastic. Last time, one more of those Sumo Inchworms, walking it out. Midline nice and strong, supporting solid through those shoulders, and walking it back. Rooting down, lifting up. And on this last one, we're going to go into some side bends. So bending to the side, you can peer up towards that ceiling. And I just gently have my hands interlaced here, taking it to the other side, gazing up. Fantastic. Once more each direction. Reaching over. Breathe in. And one more time over to that second side. And release. All right, beautiful. Before we head down this last time, let's interlace those hands behind the back stretch. Really lift the chest, extend those elbows best you can, then root down into your feet. Nice bend in those knees, send those hips back. Bowing forward, bring those arms over your torso. Like you're trying to pull your hands towards your head. Staying strong in that midline, keep supported through those legs. Nice deep breath in the back. And then when you're ready, tuck the hips under, come on up to standing, shake out those arms, and then we're going to make our way down to the floor. We're going to stay down there for the rest of the warm-up piece. All right. So once you get on down, we're going to go hands underneath the shoulders, walk those knees in together. We're going to start down here with our quadruped hip rock. So bringing the hips towards one side. Again, knees are together, and just gently lowering your hips towards the opposite side. Nice strong support through the arms. Just look to lengthen through the sides of the hips. You'll typically feel this a little bit into your low back also. Once more either way. Very good. From here, splay those fingers out, turn the toes under, drive your hips nice and high, and push the head between the arms for down dog. So lengthening through the back side of the body, and just gently pulsing forward and back. Very good. And then when you're ready, go ahead and drop one heel down towards the ground and then the other. Walking those heels out. You get a nice stretch in the back of the legs. Stretching out the calves. All right. From here, we're going to take a nice big step forward with your left foot. Walking it forward as close as you can to that left hand. And then we're just going to sink down into the hips, just gently kind of rock into the side, Keeping that heel firmly planted and shin vertical. You just gently sway your body side to side here. Fantastic. From there, bring your right knee down to the floor, and we're going to come into the bottom of a lunge. So the knee is down, foot planted, shin vertical, interlace your hands, reach straight up in the air, and then lifting through the chest. You're just going to gently shift the hips forward, focus to fire that glute on that trail leg. So on the right side, squeeze the glute, lifting up. One more nice big breath here. And then we're going to relax the arms down. From here, we're going to take it into a tricep side bend stretch. So right arm, the same side of the knees down. Reach that arm straight up. Bend the elbow. Lengthen through your head and neck as you grab that elbow. And now very gently, we're going to take it into a side bend. And you can be opening through the hip and bending to the side at the same time. So you get a nice opening all the way up this front and side line of the body. One more time. Lean out of it. And then lean the hips forward and side bend. Beautiful. Go ahead and release. We're going to come back down to all fours, walk that left foot back. We're going to bring ourselves back into down dog, and then we'll step the right foot forward next. So hips high, opening that mid back once again. Pedal out those heels. And then when you're ready, you're going to work that right foot forward this time, inching it forward, looking to get it as close as you can to that right hand. And now we're going to start where we did on that left side, sinking into the hip, gently rocking side to side here. We're getting prepped for some squatting in the first part of the workout. Very good. Once you've rocked side to side, we'll bring that left knee down, coming in the bottom of the lunge on the opposite side. Interlace the hands, stretching straight up. And as you stretch tall, gently shift the hip forward, squeeze the glute of that trail leg. Lift, fire. Very good. One more time there. Again, lifting the chest, shifting that hip forward, firing that glute on the left. Beautiful. Relax the arms down. And now tricep stretch left arm, reaching straight up, lengthening up out of the spine and neck. Bend the elbow, reach up and grab. And now we shift forward and side bend towards your front leg. Breathe in and exhale into that stretch. Very good. Head up, eyes up. One more time. Fantastic. All right, go ahead and shake that out. One more stretch down here on the floor, then we'll come back up to our feet. We're going to open those inner thighs once again. So we're going to kick the leg out to the side. And we'll use this to open up the upper body just a little bit as well. So I've got my right leg extended. I'm going to reach my right arm nice and long. And then I'm going to drop my head down as I rock my hips back towards the heel. So I open up the side of the body and inside of the leg. Do that 3 times. Rock forward and gently rock back, looking down towards the floor. And I have my toe turned under that back foot. Some people like to just lay the foot flat on the ground. So whatever feels best for your body. Last time here, rocking forward, rocking back. You kind of walk the fingers of that outstretched hand out just a little bit more, lengthen that stretch. And then rock forward and release. Same thing, opposite side. Place the hands, kick out that opposite leg. Inside arm reaches nice and long, and then we'll drop back, looking down towards the floor. Breathe in as you rock forward, and then exhale, dropping back, lowering the head down. Take your time in that bottom position, and then one more time, rocking forward, and rocking back. Really breathe here. And go ahead and release. Fantastic. All right, let's grab a little bit of water as we make our way up to our feet. We're going to be doing a squat. You're welcome to use weights or just build into it, and a bent over row. We're going to be going 3 rounds. If you're not quite familiar with these, you can always watch and catch on as we go. But before we jump into it, let's go ahead and just do a couple squats, prep our feet. So we're going to have our feet about hip width apart, slight toe out. Go ahead and stand nice and tall, and then you're gonna reach your arms forward, send your hips back, keeping those heels planted, knees pushing nice and wide. Fantastic. Eyes up, drive your feet down as you stand. Couple more. Reaching up, sending your hips back, looking forward. Beautiful. All right, and we're gonna be going a full minute on the squats, but I'm gonna look to tell you at 30 seconds and at 45. So if you haven't been doing these classes for a while, or if you haven't been doing a whole lot of fitness for a while, choose probably 30 seconds to start with. All right, so you can go unweighted, just like we demoed, or if you'd like to hold some weight, you can hold it right up underneath the chin. All right, we're gonna go here in about 15 seconds. So set those feet, standing tall, holding weight as you choose, and 3, 2, 1, here we go. Nice and controlled. Controlling the down, sending the hips back, again, pushing the knees nice and wide, not so wide that they go outside your feet, but you just wanna be tracking in line with your feet. Very good. I typically will breathe in as I lower, and then I exhale as I push into my feet and stand. Focus to stay nice and tall and eyes up. So you want to find a spot kind of straight ahead to focus on. That's our 30-second mark, pardon me. So feel free to rest there, building into it, or keep on squatting. Beautiful. That's 45. We got 15 seconds left for everyone that's going for the full minute. And it's not bad to cut these intervals short. It's intelligent, actually, if you're building up your strength, building up your ability. And 2, 1, and relax. Fantastic. We're going to go into a bent over row next. I'm going to show it with the kettlebell for a change. Let's go your left arm first. So you're going to step your right foot forward. You can support that right hand on a bench or on your thigh. And whenever you're ready, we're going to just row that elbow nice and high, thinking to focus on that shoulder down out of the ear, reaching forward, rowing up and in. Just 30 seconds on these. It's good practice also to pause at that top as you pull that elbow high, reach, and row. Good. Couple more. Reaching forward, pulling high, and rotate. Fantastic. Same thing other side. So I stand in that stagger stance. You can also have your feet parallel to one another. I'll place my hand down like on the box here. You can also use a chair. And then whenever you're ready, elbow comes as high as you can above the torso, thinking shoulder blade down out of the ears, looking to bring your object right up against the torso. Holding the belly button in, supporting your low back as you are moving here. And nice smooth breathing. Very good. Let's go one more. Up and 2, 1, release. Fantastic. All right, feel free to just gently kind of twist your body side to side, whatever feels good. If you want to grab a little drink, and then we'll be back to those squats here in 20 seconds. So you can use the same weights, you can change it up. You can continue to stay unweighted if that's best for your body. Set 2 of 3, going in 5. Feet about hip width apart, slight toe out, and here we go. Eyes up, chest up. Fantastic. This first circuit is our only piece with squatting today. We have the option of some lunging in our final piece. And then as you lower down, Sharon, think about letting your elbows send up and forward to help keep that chest a little bit taller. Yep. So elbows go forward. That looks better. That's 30 seconds. Beautiful. Good job. We're trying to get our hips below the crease of our knees if possible. That's 45 seconds. A lot of times we lose that range of motion, but we can regain it with, patient training, flexibility work, and 2, 1. There's our full minute. Fantastic. Bent over row. Your left arm to start. Whew. Good job. Let's squats, get that heart rate up a little bit. All right, let's get ready for that row in 2, 1. Here we go. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the clock and the screen here, but for yourself, once you know what we're doing, turn your gaze straight down towards your opposite arm, like the wrist of the non-working hand. Breathe in as you reach, exhale on that row. Fantastic. Nice high elbow, keeping that shoulder down and back on the rib cage, and rest and rotate. Nice work. Same thing, opposite arm. 2, 1, here we go. Elbow up, reach forward. Breathe in as you reach, exhale on that row. Just a momentary pause at the top, really encourage that shoulder blade to kind of sit back and down on the rib cage. Helps our posture when we're standing and walking around, just living life. And 2, 1, and relax. Beautiful. Take 30 seconds till we go into our final round. So let's grab a little water. Another option on the squats for weights is you can hold one weight in each hand up at the sides. So I'll show that on this last set. All right, going in 5. Final sets of squats. Feet about hip width apart, slight toe out, and here we go. So I'm still focused on pushing those elbows up and forward. So as I lower down, I think elbows up when I'm holding the weights here at my shoulders. Good. And just depending upon your experience, we're still moving fairly controlled here. If you feel confident with this, want a little extra push, you can start to push that tempo a little bit. Coming down just a little faster, standing a little bit faster. Good, that's 30 seconds. There you go, reaching back, driving tall. Keeping those heels firmly planted, elbows pushing up, or arms reaching out and forward if you're going unweighted here. That's 45 seconds. Woo. Great work, everyone. Stay positive, stay confident. And 2, 1, and there's our minutes. Great job. Final sets of bent over row. If you ever feel unsure, you should go again, you have that little intuition, maybe you should rest, always follow that. Follow your intuition. 2, 1, here we go. Elbow up, reaching forward. Anytime I've had little injuries and such in the past, it's usually been, there's been exceptions, like when I dropped the dumbbell on my finger, putting the weights away. That was probably my worst injury in the gym. But, I oftentimes will have that little intuition of like, maybe I shouldn't, or maybe I should rest. 2, 1, and rest. And it's been the times that I've ignored that and pushed through, sometimes out of stubbornness, ego focused, trying to prove something that I've regretted it, had to have some downtime. So listen to your body. Opposite arm, last time, and here we go. Shoulder down the spine, elbow high. Stay connected to that breathing. I exhale on the up row, inhale as I reach. Very good. Keep pulling that belly button in, supporting that low back. And 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic, great job. All right, set 1, let's just get a little gentle twist side to side. Just reach overhead, shake out that arms, whatever feels good for your body, just shake out that circuit. Let's grab a little drink, and then we're gonna get ready for the next piece. I'd like to warm up some upper body pushing. You're gonna have the option of either a push-up or a dip, okay? So let's just warm up some push-ups. I'm going to do it from an elevated surface, hands underneath the shoulders, walking the feet back, midline nice and strong. As I lower down, I don't want to wing those elbows wide. Keep them relatively close to your torso, and really important not to let the back arch. So go ahead and join me here, warming up some upper body pushing, controlling down to the floor or to the elevated surface, and drive away. All right, so I could do this on a chair. You're gonna make sure the chair is not gonna tip back, so maybe against a wall, lowering down, driving away. The higher your surface, the easier it's gonna be. So you'll have the choice of either the push-up or I'm gonna be demonstrating the dip. But if you're a little bit unsure about the shoulders, then I recommend starting with the push-ups. You can even hold the top of the plank. And we're gonna be doing some lower body work with a deadlift. All right, so we're gonna do 2 sets here today. Just a little primer here before we go into our last piece. We're gonna go upwards of a full minute of the deadlift, hinging over, chin in. So go ahead and warm a couple of these up with me, pushing through your feet, standing tall, shoulders back, pulling that belly button in as you lower down, sending those hips back. And just like the squats, I'll give you 30 and 45-second marks. We'll have a short break, 30 seconds on the upper body piece. All right. Let me know if there's questions. Otherwise, we're going to go here in just over 10 seconds. All righty. Standing nice and tall, feet outside the hips. Nice wide base stance. Just root down into those legs, bowing forward, chin in, and here we go. Midline nice and strong. Controlling that object down to the floor. Placing it like right between your ankles. Or if you're a little bit stiff in those hamstrings, like I talked about in those intro videos, then maybe just go to like mid-shin and stand from there. Any distance that you can really keep your back nice and flat. From the side view, bowing forward, nice flat spine. Squeeze the backside and down. That's 30 seconds, everybody. Looking straight ahead, bowing forward. Fantastic. Keep that chin pulled in, nice neutral head position. Shoulders are back and down. That's 50 seconds. I missed our 45. We're almost to that minute. Control. And 2, 1. Go ahead and rest. Fantastic. So either push-ups or, like I said, I'm going to show the dip. So for that dip, shoulder blades back and down, nice broad chest. 2, 1, here we go. Elbows in. Lifting the chest to the top. Kind of squeezing those armpits in like my favorite analogy is like I'm trying to have like those little mini oranges in my armpits and I'm trying to squeeze the juice at the top. Broad chest. Very good. Shake it out anytime you need with those push-ups or the dips. Don't go to failure here. Just keep it steady. Control and drive. 2, 1, and rest. Good job. We'll take 30 seconds. One more time through deadlifts and that upper body push. I'll just show it a little bit differently. So maybe you have a little bit lighter weights. You want to use 2 dumbbells. You can either hold them outside the legs or just like we were doing before. So I'm going to show this around, weights outside the legs. Toes pointing straight ahead, little bend in those knees. And 2, 1, here we go. Bowing forward, standing straight up. Chin in, long spine, shoulders back and down. Over and up. Fantastic. We have our first 15 seconds. Good job. Really hold good bracing, broad chest. Wonderful. There's 30 seconds, everybody. Standing tall, moving with control. And similar to the squats earlier, if you're fairly experienced here, want to move a little bit faster, then go for it. That's 45 seconds. We got 15 seconds left. Just move well. Have good intention. Breathing in, breathing out. 1 to 2 more. Very good. Great job, ladies. And 2, 1, and rest. All right, push-ups or dips. Last time. Just give it a little touch here on the upper body pushing. All right, shoulders back. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. If you want more of a challenge, you can outstretch your legs. That'll bring more of your body weight into your upper body. Just try not to rush the progression of movements. Always stick with the basics. Doesn't matter how advanced you are in fitness. Could have been doing it for 50 years. You'll still benefit from working those basics. Good. One more. Everything nice and strong. And rest. Woo. Very good. Shake it out. Grab a little bit of water. We just have one more circuit. We've got several moving parts to this last piece. I'm going to take you through it 4 times. So we're going to have that first round. As we move through, I'll kind of talk about it a little bit. But before we jump in, I'd like to open up the outer hip and get ready for a little bit of lunging. You'll also have the option of a giant step. So you can take a seat in the chair or on the floor. We're going to go figure 4 stretch. Right foot above the left thigh. And then you can either hug the leg in if you're on the floor, or I'm going to sit tall and just gently lean forward here. So as we're stretching out the hips a little bit, I'm going to just talk you through it. We're going to start with a kettlebell swing or a dumbbell Russian skier swing. Similar movements to that deadlift, a little bit more dynamic. So if you're like, I don't know if I'm quite ready for that, you can either march in place that we're going to be doing with the next group, or you can do the deadlifts again like we did on the last set. Go ahead and switch your legs. Opposite hip. Then we're going to go into either an elevated plank row, or if you have matching dumbbells and you feel confident down the floor, you can go Renegade Row down on the floor. From there, we're going to roll onto our backs for some lower abdomen work. Leg lowering abs, and I'll be talking you through that as we're working. And then we come up to our feet. That's when we're going to go back to the lower body. Go ahead and release that leg and go into some lunging. And then you either take a rest or you can join me for just a little bit of like some rebounding work. Get some good lymph flow going with some rebounding, kind of shake up our system. So if you're down on the floor, you can come into down dog if you prefer, but otherwise, if you're standing, we're going to stretch out those calves a little bit. So heel down, toe up, whether it's the side of the chair, side of the door frame, stretch out the back of the calf here. It's going to be 30 seconds with each exercise, and we'll have about 10 seconds on the transition, 10 to 15. So it's more for quality movements here today than it is, well, it's always about quality. Go ahead and switch feet. But sometimes on these finishers, we just kind of really work on a little bit of a burner, a little bit faster pace. So today, just a little bit more focus on those movements. All righty. We're going to be starting with that swing. So if you have a kettlebell, you can use the kettlebell. I'm going to show the first round with some dumbbells. We call it a skier swing. We're going to start here in 15 seconds. All right. So with the skier swing, you're going to have the weights on either side. Slight bend in those knees. Pull that belly button in, shoulders back, and 2, 1. Here we go. Just gently bowing forward and drive the hips. If you have one weight, you'll go wider base stance with the weights between the legs. I'll show that on the next round. And you notice I'm keeping the weight here up by like my pocket position. So if I were to put my hands in my pockets, that's right about where the weights are. And the arms are just guiding the movement, but the hips are generating that lift. So midline is tight. I drive the hips, squeeze the glute as I stand tall, and rest. Beautiful. Set that down. So you can take it down to the floor for the Renegade Rows, or I'll show the first round with the elevated position. Place the hands with the shoulders, and here we go. You go one elbow up, and then the opposite elbow up. So this can be down on the floor in that plank with dumbbells in your hand. You can also do it elevated here with the dumbbells. Usually just have one, and you set it down on your chair or whatever you're supporting on, and switch hands. Good job. We're taking it to the floor next. 2, 1, and transition. On your backs, this is where we're going to do the lower core work. Really important here. Keeping that low back pushing down into the floor. I'm going to start with the knees bent. So whenever you're ready, you're going to lift the hips up off the ground. And then as you lower your legs down, you're bracing your abdomen and pushing that low back into the floor. And then tucking it up, pulling the knees in towards your chest, nice and controlled on the down. More advanced would be straight legs as you lower. But I like to start with the knees bent. I call them tuck ups. Tucking it up and then focusing nice and controlled on the down. Do one more. And 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful. Roll over, take it on up to your feet. Lunging is next. Lunging or giant steps. All right, so we're going to go unweighted here on the first round, looking straight ahead. You're going to step 1 foot back. Whoops. Work on your balance, heel planted. The giant step would be just like this. If you know the lunges and you feel confident, then go ahead and bring that back knee down to the floor and up and forward. Good job. Controlling down, driving tall. 15 more seconds. Like I said, this is the first of 4 sets. So we'll have time to improve this. Really good control here. On these next rounds, if you're confident with this movement, you can hold a little bit of weight and rest. All right, so you're taking a full rest here or option of some rebounding jumps. If you had a rope to skip, you can also grab your jump rope and just do a little jumping rope. Otherwise, I'm just kind of lifting my heels up and down. You don't have to come all the way off the floor if you don't feel confident for that. But if you do, just a really nice bounce. Shoulders back and down, arms out to the side, and breathe. You got a little mini trampoline around, do a little bit of rebounding on that. That's fabulous too. Feel free to just hop on there. 10 more seconds. Woo. 2, 1, and rest. All right, grab a quick drink. We're gonna take 30 seconds, a little bit less, and then we'll be back to our swings. I'm gonna show it with a regular kettlebell this time. All righty. So feet outside the hips, standing nice and tall. Slight bend in those knees, and 2, 1, here we go. Hinging at the hips. Remember, arms are guiding. Exhale on that upswing. Breathe in on the down. Exhale as you drive the hips forward. So you breathe in, kind of brace the lower core. Good job. Nice neutral head position, so chin pulled in. And 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Renegade row next. You can stay elevated like we demoed on the first round, or taking it down to the floor. 2, 1, and here we go. I usually have a little bit wider base stance than maybe I would for push-ups on these. Helps to keep the hips and shoulders nice and level. Similar to that single arm row we did earlier. You can pause in the top. Elbow nice and high above the torso. Good job, almost there. 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful, onto your back. Leg lowering abs or tuck ups. Shoulder blades back and down. I'm gonna go legs straight this time. 2, 1, and here we go. And as you're pulling that back into the floor, it should feel like your abdomen is kind of pushing out. So you're not really sucking your belly in, you're just pulling your pelvis back, like you're rocking it back, really flattening that low back into the floor. And then your whole core, you can put your hand on your belly, you should feel like it's pushing out. That's how it's bracing your spine. Good, maybe one more. Everything nice and strong. No arch of that low back. 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful, roll it over. Coming up to our feet. Lunges. If you're experienced with these and confident, feel free to hold some weights. 3, 2, 1, here we go. And then remember, the giant step is our option if we aren't quite ready to bring that knee down. Front shin vertical, and we're just driving that heel down, propelling yourself up and forward. Very good. Nice job. Just watch that knee position, Sharon. Don't let it start to shoot forward. We want to take a long enough step back. That shin stays vertical. Maybe one more each side. And rest and rotate. Beautiful. Rest break, rebounding, jump rope, or just dance. Woo! 2 rounds down after this. 2 more to go. All right. Finally warmed up here in the garage. Feel free to take a quick drink. We're going to get started back with our kettlebell swings here at about 15 seconds. Kettlebell or skier swings with the weights on either side. All right, if you're not quite ready, just give a little bit longer rest and join us when you are. 2, 1, here we go. Bow forward, getting that hip pop. Just like we're practicing with that ab work on the floor, it's going to be a similar brace here. And if this swing feels like too much, you can always go back to those deadlifts. You'll still be using a hinging pattern without as much dynamic work. Very good. Nice skier swing, Sharon. 2, 1, and rotate. Renegade Rows. Set 3 of 4. Place those hands right underneath the shoulders. 2, 1, here we go. Midline strong. High elbow position. Breathe. Very good. Focus your gaze right between your wrists. If you're a fairly hypermobile individual, just watch that you don't lock out those elbows. So you want to push strong through that support shoulder without hyperextending to that elbow. And rest. Beautiful. Rolling onto your back. Tuck ups or leg lowering abs. Set those shoulders back and down. Think about if I have a whoopee cushion or a balloon under that low back. I want to flatten it down. And here we go. Controlling. Right before you feel like your back's going to start to arch. That's when you want to pull your feet back up, especially if you're doing the straight leg version. You can always bend those knees if you start to feel any kind of arch in that low back. Some of these movements you don't want to be competitive with. You just want to focus on what's my best in this moment, on this day. And 2, 1, release. Come on up to your feet. Second to last set of lunges. Fantastic. We'll go in 10 seconds. Eyes up and 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Alternating legs. Controlling back and down, up and forward. Very good. That looks better, Sharon. Nice job. Keeping that chest tall the whole time. This is where I pretend I'm on the beach and I'm digging my heel in nice and deep, but still gripping those toes down into the sand too, that front foot. So I'm generating my power up and forward. Okay, 1 more. 2, 1, and switch. Beautiful. Rebounding or your rest. Woo, or dance. Feel free to be silly. Sometimes we can get too serious, especially about exercise. I mean, we want to be safe, we want to be smart, but we also want to have fun. So if you feel awkward, smile, laugh. Feeling awkward is a sign that you're growing. You're expanding out of your comfort zone. 2, 1, rest. All right, let's take a full 30 seconds. Get a little bit more rest, and then we'll do our final circuit. And if you're like 3 is good for me, congratulate yourself for doing that much. It's hard, especially when you're not actually in person with people. It's a whole different energy. So just be kind, be grateful that you showed up. Otherwise, we're going into our last round, starting with those swings. 2, 1, here we go. Or go back to that deadlift if you don't quite feel like you're ready for the swings. Shoulders back and down, midline strong. Hands are up by the inner thighs or pocket position, right? The lower we go, the harder it's going to be on the low back. So you want to keep it in close to the center of gravity. Protect that spine. 2, 1, transition. Renegade rows. Doing well. Stay focused, stay breathing, and 2, 1, here we go. Remember, nice wide base stance. Shoulders back and down, pulling that elbow nice and high. Breathe. So give a nice strong exhale as I row up and in. Sometimes again as I lower. Breathing rate should be a little bit higher now. You might have a couple breath cycles per rep. Just try to have it rhythmic. Good, maybe one more on each arm. And rotate. Tuck ups next, rolling it over. And shoulder blades back and down. Put yourself in a good position here. Knees bent or straight. 2, 1, here we go. Control. Bring them back up before you have that arching of the low back. If you let that low back arch, it puts a lot of strain. It's basically like the hip flexors that are attached to that low back are starting to pull us into extension. So we want to avoid that. We have plenty of extension in our low back. We're trying to strengthen into a nice, strong, neutral position. 2, 1, and bring it on up to your feet. Lunges. Weight them if you'd like. Or giant steps. 2, 1, and begin. Move with control. Controlling the knee down, keeping that shin vertical. Eyes up, chest up. Similar to our squats that we started the hour with. Fantastic. There you go. Good straight ahead, good focus. Maybe one more each side. And 2, 1, and rotate. All right, let's have everybody finish together here on your feet. Whether you want to dance, jump jacks, or just some rebounds. 30 seconds left. And we got a little cool down stretch. Woo! Smile. Even if you feel like you did everything wrong, just smile. Your body doesn't know the difference. Just turning your lips upward starts to bring some joy, starts to shift your hormonal state of your body to feel happiness. Life is too short not to. All right, in 3, 2, 1, high fives around. Give yourself a round of applause. Virtual high fives. All right, let's walk it out. Grab some water. We'll do a little cool down stretch here to finish it out. Nice job, everybody. All right, I like to keep you up on your feet if we can, or you can take it down as you prefer. We're going to repeat that quad stretch. So lift up, grab one foot. You can practice balance here or steady yourself somewhere. Shoulder back, opening through the chest. And as always, we never want to arch our back stretching unless we're focused on something, but ribs down, midline strong. Breathe. And go ahead and release that foot. Same thing other side. Place that foot down nice and strong. Lift everything up. Get into a good balance. Grab that opposite foot. Ah, nice job. It always feels better when we're done. What do they say? The hardest part is starting. Starting and finishing. Having that follow through. 2, 1, and go ahead and release that down there. Fantastic. Let's take it down to the floor. A couple finisher stretches down there. Alrighty, we're going to come onto your back. It's nice and slow, lowering yourself down. And we're just going to open up the hips to finish. Left leg extends. Pull the right knee towards the right shoulder. And actively push your left thigh down and towards the floor. And then just gently bring the knee across the body. Feel a little bit more in the outer hip here. Okay. Weave the leg up and down, kind of glide it through, a little bit of slide and glide here. Looking for any stiff areas. And when you're ready, go ahead and release that side. And actively pushing the right thigh down as you pull the left knee towards that left shoulder. And then when you're ready, sweep it across the body, pulling it across to the opposite shoulder. And then gently glide and slide up and down. Very good. Go ahead and release. And then figure 4. We're going to go back to the right foot, crossing it over onto the left thigh. And now I'm going to reach in between the leg with my right hand, left hand on the outside, and we're just going to hug that leg in. Close the eyes for a moment here. Feel that outer right hip. Just gently encourage it to open. Nice deep breaths. And then when you're ready, as you'd like, you can extend the left leg straight up. Point those toes towards the ceiling. Pull the toes back towards your face. And then we're going to bend the knee back down, hugging the leg in. Good job. Twice more. Extend. Point. Lift the toes. And bending it back down. Good job. Last one. All right. Take note of which foot you have crossed over. It should all be on the right if you're with me. Unwind yourself. Before we go to the other side, let's just hug both legs in. Rock yourself side to side. And then we're going to put the heels down on the ground, put the feet down. We're going to do a couple glute bridges, help relax those hip flexors a little bit more. Pushing those hips up and forward, pull the chin in towards your chest. Holding for about a 3 count and then gently lowering down. So go about 3 of those. We'll come back to it after we open up the other hip, but a couple here. Lengthening through the spine, lengthening through the back of the neck, pulling that chin down towards the chest and the top of that bridge. One more. Push through your heels, gently driving those hips up. Breathe and release. Fantastic. And now we go to that left leg, left foot to the right thigh, starting with just hugging it in. Oh, hello, left hip. Great time to close the eyes and breathe. Use that breath to help your whole nervous system relax. One more breath. Fantastic. And then when you're ready, right leg extends. Point the foot away. Pull it back towards your face. And then gently bend that knee back down and in, hugging the leg in at the bottom. Twice more on your own. Pausing in the bottom. Last time, extend. Point. Lift towards your face and hugging it down and in. Beautiful. Final pose here. Go ahead and release out of that. We're going to go back into that glute bridge position. And if you can, you're going to interlace the hands underneath the body. We call it a bridge pose. Trying to pull the shoulders back and down. And again, pulling the chin in towards the chest. And just, anytime you need to come out of it, please do. But if you're comfortable to open those hips, you're going to hold about 30 seconds here. Pulling the chin in, relaxing the eyes closed. And center your focus on your breath. Feel your rib cage expand as you breathe in. One more breath. And as you exhale, gently bring the hips back down towards the floor. Relax, release the hands. And then we'll finish with hugging the legs in towards the chest. If you like the happy baby, elbows on the inside, the knees, grab the outsides of your shins or ankles, and just gently rock yourself back and forth. It's a great opening here for the inner thighs as well as that low back. Fantastic, everybody. Please feel free to take your time down here. Anything else that your body's asking for? I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. Appreciate you all being here and look forward to seeing you next time.